secrets and I do it again. Hey, I'm bittersweet emptiness, and do you like it more? 'Cause you know I'll be best. Hey, and I'm wasting time. And why do you waste your time? 'Cause I'm the baddest company, and I can't stand it when you're close to me. The only place I wanna go is anywhere there's people I don't know. And I'm wasting time. And why do you waste your time? I'm good to be kind, no I can't, but you let it go. But you let it go. You're not on my mind, no I can't, but you let it go. 'Cause you never know, you never know, you never know. And oh, I'm a wasted time. And why do you waste my time? Tell me Cause you don't pick yet, cause you don't pick yet. Tell me why, cause you don't pick yet, cause you don't pick yet. Tell me why.
Cloves, thank you for joining us on The Right Note.
Thank you for having me.
And playing Wasted Time. So what I understand is that song is about the voice in your head that fucks with you? Is that kind of what it's about?
Yeah, that's the most simplistic way to say it, I think.
Okay.
Basically, like, when I wrote the song, I was kind of halfway through the album process and I was feeling very, like, self-critical and self-doubtful. And it was kind of, like, bleeding into the rest of my life, like my social life, like how I felt about myself on a daily basis. And it was kind of just really getting me down. And then, yeah, it's basically just about that kind of, like, you know, critical voice in your head that you just can't get rid of.
Right.
And then feeling like that's okay to talk to people about, and the people around you can understand that. You know?
And you've managed, and that's how you've managed to deal with that voice?
Yeah, well, no, because it's like a consistent battle. It's not like something that you just go, okay, now I'm over, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's almost like you have to, like, let yourself take baby steps
Yep.
to building your confidence so it actually stays with you and you can start finding some kind of grounding rather than being like, now I'm fine, everyone is all good. You know, it just doesn't work like that. But yeah, I think, you know, just got to work at it every day.
Yeah, and that's one of the first tastes of your album,
Yes.
which has been about 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
How have you found that process? Because presumably, I mean, there's a lot of growth artistically, but even just as a person, you develop and mature a lot over that 3-year period. Has there been a lot of growth for you in that time?
Of course. I mean, it's like the same with anyone that does anything. It's just as you get older, you get to understand yourself better through experience, and that's what it is. And it's the same thing. I think it's reflected in my music, just because purely out of time, like how much I've changed over the course of this album, and even for the next lot of music that I'm making, it's very much like always moving forward. And it's the same with the album process. And you know, it was just like a long slog for me to really find my own identity and be okay with it.
Okay.
You know, so
How different would the album have been if it had come out sort of 2 years ago?
it would have been so much less sure of itself.
Okay.
I feel like I'm starting to become more sure of myself, which is quite like a nice, liberating feeling. Whereas, you know, 2 years ago, felt more self-conscious, and I felt like less like what I had to say mattered. And yeah, so I think it would sound like a lot less, because right now, even in the sonics of the production, it's still quite like bold and like, you know, it's trying to really feel like it's trying to hit your heart and really tell you what I want to say to you.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like 2 years ago I would have been more standoffish.
Right, okay. And when will we hear the album? When is it actually out?
I think it's out in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be a big moment, I imagine, for something which you've worked so long on.
Yes, it'll be a really big moment, but I also feel like I'm quite an ambitious person, so I like to move forward. I don't really dwell too much on like big moments.
So you'll already be on to the next one.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. And so you grew up in Melbourne, born in Melbourne,
Yes.
and you've been living in London.
Yeah.
How long ago did you move to London?
About 4 years ago, I moved
Okay.
over.
And what was that moment like? Was it a scary moment to sort of uproot your life and head over to the other side of the world?
I mean, it was yes and no, but it wasn't like a one move process. It was more like I got signed when I was really young, when I was 16, and then I kind of worked my way up to being able to go to LA. I went to LA for like 3 months, and then I found my like management team and found the people that I love to work with, who supported my ideas, supported my vision for what I wanted to do, and then I got to go over to London basically.
Right.
And then I settled there, and then I wrote my whole album there, and kind of like lived my adult years there. And
Yeah.
now I just feel like it's just part of my got two homes sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. And how old were you when you decided that this is what you wanted to do? Was there a moment or?
Like forever. I was never like, oh, now I want to do it. It was always something that just came to me really. It didn't come naturally in terms of like skill for it. It came naturally in terms of like, that's obviously what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know why.
Right.
I just do. Like,
Okay.
I just love it, you know. I love the idea of like listening to music and being able to feel like you're not necessarily where you are, and it can take you out of how you feel. And,
Yeah.
you know, I love that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you remember your first performance?
No. No idea. I used to do so many like shitty gigs. Me and my sister used to play loads. She's actually here somewhere. We used to play like loads of gigs together, and no one would turn up. And
Right.
it was really embarrassing, but also kind of really fun because we just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like we just get up and play. We do terrible covers. Like we just play because we enjoyed it. So yeah, I think that's like one of my favorite childhood memories, really.
Yeah, nice. Well, things have come a long way. So, so you find yourself here.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
In front of all these very realistic records.
Exactly. But thank you very much for coming on the show again.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.